Hello, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart, and this is episode 131. What was I going to say? I don't know. It's episode 131. You can reach me if you ever want to contact me. My email address is mctaggartattack@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find the McTaggart Attack podcast Facebook page on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at KevMcT, KEVMCT. This is my podcast. I'm a stand-up comedian who lives in Vermont, and I give my opinions on things. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. It'll probably be funny sometimes. It depends on the issue, really. It really depends on the issue. I don't try to be funny in my podcast. I save that for the stage. And I only tell my good jokes on stage. Hopefully. I can't make any promises in that regard. But as I turn off the music, I love using the Podbean app for podcasts. If you've thought about doing a podcast, you can use the Podbean app. It's pretty user friendly, I've found. I have had very little issues with it. Big fan of the Podbean app. I'm also a big fan of anyone who's downloaded this podcast and listening to this podcast. I've got over 4,800 downloads now, so that's very cool. I want 5,000 by the end of May, and I'm going to do that. That's going to happen. It's going to be great. But as I said, this is my podcast where I give my opinions on stuff, various issues. Like, I have a weekly episode called What's Pissing You Off Wednesday, where I rant about stuff on other people's behalf. But that's not this episode. I also have an episode, a mini-series, a limited series, if you will, called WTF GOT, where I review every episode of the final season of Game of Thrones, and what a great season it's been so far. And I'm not being sarcastic about that. Shut the fuck up. Yes, I do that, but that's not this episode either. This episode is just me talking about one topic. One topic. This isn't Trivial Nonsense Friday, because this podcast will be coming out on Saturday. And I'm just going to be talking about one thing in this podcast episode. Just give my opinion on something that I promised that I would give my opinion on once that decision was made. And now I'm going to give my opinion on it. See, one thing that I love, there are a few things that I love. I love Pearl Jam, the band Pearl Jam. I love them. Also love Batman. Huge fan of Batman. I dedicated my 100th episode to all things Batman. So you can check that out wherever you download podcasts. But I said in that episode that whenever they reached a decision on who was going to portray Batman in the next movie that's coming out in 2021, Kevin McTaggart, said that I would give my opinion and my thoughts on the casting of the new Batman. And that's what I'm going to be doing in this episode. The thing is, I think this is who they're going to cast. I mean, I've seen news. I've been trying to look this up since Thursday night when I first heard about it, because at first it was apparently confirmed, but then apparently they're still not sure. And I guess that's understandable. But I've waited a few days. I haven't really seen anything that's confirmed that it's not. I know that this person is their top choice. They just want to vet it through and make sure that it's, the right choice. And I'm walking around the house today, by the way. Why the fuck not? Nobody else is here, so it's good. But yeah, I wanted to give my opinion on this. So apparently, from what I've been able to see from the articles, what I've been able to see, it's pretty much all but confirmed officially that Robert Pattinson is going to be the next Batman in the movie coming out in 2021. Robert Pattinson. Now, when I first heard about this, I heard rumors of this a few months ago, that this was going to happen, that he was a top choice. And I was sort of like, well, to be honest, I was not that thrilled with it. I'm like, huh? Really? The Twilight guy? He's gonna be Batman? For real? I was skeptical about it. I was skeptical about it. He's a young guy, I think. How old is he? Let's look it up. I'm looking it up right now to get what his age is. Let's see. How old is he? I'm just looking it up in Wikipedia right now. Where the fuck is Wikipedia? He is... Oh, okay. Wow. Huh. So, he is 10 years younger than me. He's 33 years old. Perfect age to play Batman. Fine, that's... Okay. I wasn't being ageist or anything. I just wasn't sure how old he was. I'm not very good at, figuring out ages for people. I suck at telling ages. I do love, though, that most people think that I'm actually younger than they think that I am. They think I'm younger than I actually am, is what I should say. So there's that. So yeah, he actually had a birthday recently, from what I see. His birthday was apparently Monday, so happy birthday to him. Happy belated birthday to the future Batman. But I was like, really? The Twilight guy? He's gonna be Batman? Him? For real? As I said, I was skeptical about this. I was skeptical. I was skeptical, but then so I'm like, oh, maybe it won't happen. Maybe they'll pick somebody else. Blah blah blah. But then Thursday night, during the Big Bang Theory series finale, oddly enough, a big comic book announcement is made. I don't know if it was officially made, but yeah. So it's Robert Pattinson is the new Batman. I was skeptical about it a couple months ago. And then I'm like, okay, well, so it's apparently a thing that's going to happen. It's this thing it's going to happen. He's going to be Batman in the next movie. And I thought about it some more. And I thought, yes, he was in the Twilight movies, which I never saw. I think I saw it a little bit. I've seen a few minutes of the Twilight movies. That's it. from what I understand, he's not the worst part of the Twilight movies. From what I saw from him in the Twilight movies, I thought he did a pretty good job. But there's just that stigma of him being in the Twilight movies. I mean, it could have been worse. He could have been in the 50 Shades of Grey movies. I swear to God, if they picked that dude from 50 Shades of Grey to be Batman, actually would not have been a bad idea. But it would have sucked, because he sucks. He's a terrible actor. He is a piece of shit. I don't know what Gray's real name is as an actor, but that guy sucks. I have to go. We're doing movie roast of the third 50 Shades of Grey movie tonight. Thank God I'm getting paid to watch it, because I would not pay to watch that movie. I would get paid to watch it, and that's what I'm doing tonight at Movie Roast. And why am I promoting a show? Because, well, I'll be putting out this podcast before the show, so it's perfectly fine for me to mention it here. But yeah, I'm really glad it's not the 50 Shades guy, because I saw him in that. I'm like, oh, he's kind of like what would happen to Batman if he had a sex addiction. Or, a really fucked up, perverted sex fetish addiction thing. I don't even know what oh my God, so awful. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, I have no problem with this. Because I thought about it, and I do think he was probably the best part of the Twilight movies. And then I thought about it some more, and he was also Cedric Diggory in the Goblet of Fire movie. I think he might have been in one movie before that, but I don't know. But I know he was in the Goblet of Fire, and he was a great job. He performed really well in that movie, in my opinion. I remember his performance, and I thought he was really good. And it was very sad when he got killed. It was very emotional, because he was the first. Cedric Diggory is the first character to get killed in, a Harry Potter book, I think, or something like that. And maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. If you think I'm wrong, contact me somehow, and I'll be like, okay, fine, I was wrong. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, he performed really well in the Goblet of Fire. And from what I understand, he's done a lot of independent movies since Twilight. Edgy, dark type stuff. I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's a good choice. I'm very happy with this choice. I feel better about this choice than I did about Ben Affleck, if that says anything. I felt good about the choice when Christian Bale was announced as Batman. I liked that choice. I thought that was great. And I think this is almost as good a choice as Christian Bale. Yeah, I think that's my take on it. I think he's portraying a younger Batman than my age, and I have to get used to that. I was a little skeptical when Spider-Man was recast to Tom Holland, and he looks like he's a high schooler. Spider-Man's a high schooler, but Spider-Man is a high schooler. And but I watched his Spider-Man movie, and it might have been the best Spider-Man movie, to be honest. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what they do in the Batman, which is coming out 2021. I like the director that they have for it, Matt Reeves. He did such an awesome job with those 3 Planet of the Apes movies. He also did a great job. I think am I going to have to look up Matt Reeves for his... let me look up his movies, because I want to say he did Wanted, but I don't think he did. Let me look up what movies he did. Let's see. He's got the Batman. He's got Oh, he did Cloverfield. He did Cloverfield for real? I didn't know he did Cloverfield. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know he did. Okay, alright. I thought he did Wanted. But no, he did Cloverfield too. Cloverfield was a really good movie also. Wow, shit. And then, yeah, he did he just do. Huh. I thought he did. Sorry for all of this. My apologies. I thought he did all three Planet of the Apes movies, but I guess he just did the last two, which I think is fine. Let me see. Let me check his filmography here. Looking that up. Let's see. Oh wow, yeah. He did one called Let Me In. Oh yeah, no. He didn't do the first Planet of the Apes movie. But he did the last two, and those were great also. So that was good, and he's doing the Batman. And yeah. Okay. Right. No, right. No. I think he's going to do a great job with the Batman movie. I'm curious to see what they do with it. He also did Cloverfield, as I just mentioned. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens. Anytime though, like there is an announcement like this about like casting for characters and stuff like that, there's always a backlash. There's always someone that hates it, and I think there is a risky move for Warner Brothers in that I think a lot of people might not like the fact that the dude from Twilight is going to be Batman. But those people just need to get the fuck over themselves. Just wait and see when the movie comes out, you know, or when the previews for the movie come out. Because, really, that's all you're going to have to say. People hated Heath Ledger as the Joker, okay? People hated Michael Keaton cast as Batman, alright? I think people even hated Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man when that was announced. As stupid as that fucking sounds now. Like, my God. Just wait for the movie to come out. Wait for them to make the movie. Wait for us to see what the fucking thing looks like. Okay? Before you cast your goddamn... This instant reaction society that we fucking live in now is so goddamn irritating. Makes me sick sometimes. With somebody's always going to complain about something, and I'm just sick and tired of other people's opinions. Really, the only opinion that should really matter to anyone is our own opinions. It's ridiculous. But of course, I'm recording a podcast giving my opinion, and you're listening to it, so thank you for that. In summary, I like the Robert Pattinson decision. I'm curious to see where they go with it. I think he's a good actor. From what I've seen of him, I haven't seen him do that many movies. But I think he's done a lot since the Twilight series, and I think he's gotten a lot of acclaim for that. I'm also looking forward to Matt Reeves as the director. From what I read, it's going to be the Penguin and Catwoman as the villains, and that's cool. I was not a big fan of Danny DeVito as the Penguin in Batman Returns. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I didn't like it. I hope to see a different take on it, a more, a different... I'm curious to see what Matt Reeves does with the Penguin and Catwoman and his version of the Batman. So, there. That's been my opinion on Robert Pattinson as Batman. I like it. But, should always hold out judgment until the movie's coming out. But yeah, I feel good about this decision, about this announcement. Yes, that's my take on it. And my take also on it is wait and see until the movie comes out. So I guess I have two takes or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got for this episode of the McTaggart Attack podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, you can follow me on Twitter at KevMcT. You can find the McTaggart Attack Podcast Facebook page, where I post all of the new episodes. You can find this podcast almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you've found the podcast. And thank you so much for downloading it. I love checking the download numbers every day. It makes me so fucking happy. Tell your friends about this podcast. And if you have stuff you want me to get pissed off about for you, let me know and I will do it, and it'll be in a future What's Pissing You Off Wednesday. That's all I have. And that's the bottom line if you smell what the McTaggart Attack Podcast is cooking.